before we start looking at the code, let's get an overview of the machine learning thought process. Now we have been following this thought process, and now we're getting really into it. So we have so now this part where we have cleaned and prepared the data set, right? We've been doing that where the point where we address the missing values, the categorical variables. So now you can see that step can take a lot of effort, and this is sometimes referred to as data science, right? Data science and machine learning, they're used interchangeably. They're the same thing, but in some cases data science is more towards what you're doing with your data when you're preparing it, cleaning it, acquiring it, and so on. So we have cleaned and prepared the training data set, and now we're gonna feed that data to the machine learning algorithm, which is our decision tree model, right? Now the training data set, remember we have two data sets, right? We have a training data set and a test data set, which we got from Kaggle, right? We are going to train our model on the machine, on the training data set. We're going to train our machine learning model. And so the cleaning and preparing process, we have also been doing this. Right? Whatever you do, so there's a reason I showed both of these in the same color, right? And that is because whatever preparation you do with that training data set, you have to do that with the test data set also. Not everything, but in a lot of cases you have to make sure that the types of variables and whatever new features you introduce in the training data set, for example, they have to be in the test data set also. So then the next step is this part. When you feed your training data set to the machine learning algorithm, you get a model that is trained. And we'll see that this part, right, this part is fairly easy to implement. It's just like a few lines of codes. Well, this whole part, these three steps, they're quite easy to implement in Python or in any other language like R. A few lines of code. All these models are built in, and the main important thing which sometimes people miss is the thought process, which you need to have always have in your mind. That where what are you doing with your data, and which step are you at in this predictive analysis. Now, in step 2 your model has been trained, and then in step so now in this trained model you're gonna feed the test data set. Now remember the test data set is not going to have the class variable, which in this case is the survived column, right? So that's not going to be part of the test. That's what you're predicting, right? So when you feed your data in the trained model, you'll get predictions, and that's a very important step that you have taken. You have now predictions, and those predictions can be used to now evaluate your model. Now, as a first step, we're going to just take those predictions and submit them to Kaggle, right? Just for a quick evaluation. But obviously that's not the whole game. In the next step, we're gonna try to understand the prediction by formally evaluating the model using different methods. We'll talk about that. But for now, let's just submit the predictions right to Kaggle and see what Kaggle tells us. So in the next video, let's look at the code and see how each of these steps are followed by using the code in Python.